Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and today I got I got my college football history special. Today I'm gonna highlight a player from Clemson University, and his name is William the Refrigerator Perry. If you like the video, please comment and share it. And I won't apologize. I almost said NFL, but I've been up early this morning since 7 and been doing NFL draft prospects, even though Mr. Perry was a first round pick of the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about Mr. Perry. The thing that's so special about him, I'm starting with the year 1981, his freshman year. And to me, one of the best years I ever seen by a D lineman that's playing at this level. I was a senior at the University of Arkansas, going into my senior year. And I remember there was so many great players on the landscape in 1981 from a defensive standpoint. You had Mr. Perry's teammate, Jeff Davis, who was very special at the linebacker position out of Clemson. You had Billy Ray Smith at Arkansas. Same time I was there. Then you had Andre Tippett at Iowa. You had Terry Kennard, another teammate of William Perry at Clemson. Then you had Mike Richardson, cornerback out of Arizona State, that ended up being Mr. Perry's teammate with the Chicago Bears. You had a pretty good safety in Fred Marion out of the University of Miami, the U. Then you had Tommy Wilcox, one of the best strong safeties out of the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. And then in the Southwest Conference, as I was attending the University of Arkansas, our rival was Texas. We had the great Kenneth Sims, who ended up being the number 1 overall pick out of Texas by the New England Patriots. But when I saw Mr. Perry and realized that this guy was special, I was home for the holidays in my parents' house, 1248 Singing Trees. My mother and father still living. Inez and Chester Turner, and I was watching the Orange Bowl. And that game had the powerful Nebraska Cornhuskers going up the Clemson Tigers. And in that game, everybody knew if Clemson won that game, they would win a national title outright. But there was a lot of naysayers that said, I don't know if Clemson can step up the level of Nebraska. And remember, Nebraska had all them great teams back in the 70s. Johnny Rodgers, Jerry Taggy, Jeff Kennedy, Richard Glover, Larry Jacobson, John Dutton, Willie Harper. But you know what? I saw a Clemson defense, even though they had a pretty good quarterback in the offensive side named Homer Jordan. That defense was special. William Devaney, Jeff Bryant, Danny Triplett, Jeff Davis, Hollis Hall, Anthony Rose, Andy Hinton, Terry Kennard. But what stuck out most to me was that freshman, 6'2", about 350 pounds, William Perry. And what I liked about him that night was his skill set was off the change. The size was A+. The speed was A+. And I really, really was astonished for a man his size with that athletic ability. He was something nice. And he had the ability, he was making play after play that night. Go look at it. The 1982 Orange Bowl, Clemson and Nebraska. And they won the national championship that year. William Perry, to me, was really the first big man of that size that could move. And you know what? Think about his career at Clemson. First team, 1983 All-American. He left that school as an all-time sack leader with 25 sacks. And he changed the game, how it was played on the interior. A big man can be a difference maker. And the thing I like about him, in his career at Clemson, then he took it to Chicago, where he could take up space, he could stuff the run, and he could sack the quarterback. And we know how his career ended up in Chicago. He ended up as a Super Bowl champion. And when I think about Wilbur Perry, he was the first guy, a big guy, to change how the game is played on the interior. And he did it as a true freshman coming out of the gates and took it on to the National Football League with the Chicago Bears. We owe a lot to William Perry. And now when you look at it, the defensive lineman is coming out in the NFL. You should owe all your money. Aaron Donald, Jordan Davis at Georgia. He's the guy that set the tone for interior linemen to be athletic, fast, and make plays to play, sideline to sideline. So when I think about William Perry, he's one of the most special football players I've seen play on any level. And when he was really, really in tune and was really a guy that was focused, he was special. And not only special, he had that personality. As my boy Mark Bass says, he had that magnetic attraction. So, William Perry, it's been an honor to highlight you for these few minutes here on 100 Yards Football. So I'm going to end it with this. See, I'm old school. And when I was in college as a sophomore, there was a sister group out of Philadelphia, PA. Their name was Sister Sledge. And they had a song. It was like this. He's the greatest dancer, oh wow, that I ever seen. He's the greatest dancer. When William Perry stepped on that field and I saw him for the first time in the 1982 Orange Bowl, he was the greatest dancer on the defensive line. And he was special that night. Kudos to the Clemson Nation, because he's been one of the best football players that's played in college football and on the pro level. And an outstanding guy and a tremendous guy with outstanding character, honor, and pride. It's been an honor to highlight William the Refrigerator Perry today here on 100 Yards Football. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. If you like the video, please comment and share. And special thanks to my producer, who's made it happen today, Mr. Logan Landers. Y'all have a great week. And watch some football this weekend, both on the college and pro level. Thank you.